Detroit puts up 42 points in the process of giving the Seahawks their first loss. Here's Dan Campbell on the big W.
It was a heck of a win. I thought what we did really well was we played complementary football, and that's what good teams do. Every game's going to be different, and this is one where really the offense ended up having the big hat, but ultimately defense started us out. It was a big stop to start the game, got it back in the offense's hands, and then situational football before halftime. I thought our defense did a great job, and then the end of the game, man, 2 huge stops.
San Francisco at 1, NFC odds. Lions at 2. Eagles, who are not good, tied with the Vikings, who are excellent, 3. Then it's the Cowboys in the
big drop-off, by the way, from 3 to 5. 650 to 1,200 is a big drop-off.
Are the Lions
disrespectful to the Packers? But sorry, go ahead.
Packers,
just a little disrespectful.
Yeah. They lost to the Eagles and they lost to the Vikings. So where do you want to be?
No, I understand. I'm talking about being 12-1, but go ahead. Don't worry.
Are the Lions the best team in the NFC?
One of the things you have started to like to say, and I hate to say this, but that I wish I had come up with.
Oh, we're going to be here for a while.
Is I'm an evidence guy.
Yeah.
That is, it's just a good, easily digestible way to be like, that's how I view things. The Lions have the best case of anyone that they're the best team. The evidence would say they're the best team within the context of the evidence can't just be who has the best record. We know that. There has to be a little more nuance than simply put the standings from 1 through 16. They were excellent last year. They filled in whatever little holes they had last year. Those appeared to be good additions that they have made, and young players getting better, like Aiden Hutchinson, like Jamison Williams, who was a superstar collegiate player. Dealt with injury, suspension, and now we're seeing him. Everyone knew they had an excellent offensive line. And I should say, I whiffed on this game entirely. I said I thought it'd be close and low scoring. Instead, it was kind of close, but super high scoring, and the Lions controlled it. One of the reasons I thought was because the Lions without their center, Frank Ragnow, didn't matter. Offensive line could deal with anyway. They have outstanding weapons. They are healthier, Ragnow's injury notwithstanding, than some of the other major contenders. They have a quarterback who has experience in the biggest games, even if he didn't play well in that Super Bowl. We've seen him play in multiple playoffs. And they have just enough playmakers on defense. They didn't have Branch last night. They'll have him back. Hutchinson's awesome. And so right now, they have the strongest argument of any team that this very moment they're the best team in the NFC.
You make a good point. You make a good argument because you include last year. All right, we always especially early in the season, we take that into consideration. San Francisco's banged up. And will continue to be banged up, it seems. My pick in the NFC was Green Bay, and I see no reason not to feel good about my pick. Obviously, they just got Jordan Love back. Got stomped by Minnesota in the first half, came back. His first game back, I think he'll get better. So I feel good about Green Bay, but I'm going to answer it for right now.
Yeah, that's what I was doing as well. Yeah, it's different than what will happen in 4 months.
I think Green Bay will get to the Super Bowl, but right now, I still would not go with Detroit. You could get me if you want to include last year. I think the team right now in the NFC is Minnesota.
I agree.
Minnesota.
I know you.
And here's the argument, Nick. Now, again, last year they weren't very good, so if you want to make that case. But this year, I think they've played a tougher schedule. They're undefeated.
Their schedule's been brutal.
Right. So the teams they've beaten have a combined record of 8-8, which doesn't sound great. But San Francisco, which we believe is a good team, is 2-2. And Green Bay, which, we believe is a good team.
But it also means those teams are 8-4 when they're not playing Minnesota.
Right.
If you said they're 8-8, that means they're 8-4 when they play anybody else.
And then Houston. And those 3 quarterbacks, Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Brock Purdy, they gave them problems. All right, so their defense is great. Detroit's teams that they've beaten are combined 5-9. All right, so Minnesota's played the better schedule. Minnesota has the better record. And even though they've played a tougher schedule, their defense has been better.
See, that's right.
They lead the NFC in points allowed, or they have the fewest points allowed, which is 59. That's 4th in the entire league. And again, with that tough schedule, they're only allowing 14.8 points. Here's the graphic of the offense and defense for the 2 teams. Minnesota's scoring more points, 4th in the league, and allowing fewer, again, 4th in the league. And remember, tougher schedule. You mentioned the weapons, which obviously Detroit has great ones, but so does Minnesota. You know, with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and they can run the ball with Aaron Jones.
Sam Darnold.
Darnold, look, he should be on pumpkin watch. There's no doubt, and I expect him at some point to turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
But right now, he's playing great. Leads the league with 11 touchdowns, leads the league in passer rating, and he's doing what they're asking him, which isn't too much. It's just enough.
Last year, Lions season ended. They allowed 27 points in the second half, 17 points in 8 minutes, 413 yards. It's like, all right, we got to fix that. Did they fix their defense? No. Like you said, it's going to be close scoring. You thought it was going to be close. Geno can move the ball around. This year, Lions pass defense yards per game. They're right around 260, which is 30th. Allowed 383 last night. That is a lot. It's most by any team this year. So until that gets fixed.
So I don't think they have to have a great defense. I think they have to. I think they have to have an average defense. But that's overall. We can't just say just one part of it. You know, overall defense. Right. I think they just have to have an average. Now they can't be the 30th pass defense.
But Geno's playing well. But
Minnesota's
moving the ball
at
ease. They kind of took their foot off it.
Well, okay.
I mean, we're so
we're gonna have to start talking.
Just one other thing, just because you mentioned so much about what the Vikings have done, I just want to throw up the Lions' schedule because we're going to find out. I hate the early bye for them, but it is what it is. Right. If we can throw up their schedule, man, 4 of the next 5 weeks, Dallas, at Minnesota, forget Will Levis, at Green Bay, at Houston. That is brutality. And then that right-hand column, depending on what you think of the Bears and what they are, that's no easy slide either. So if the Lions get to 11 wins, I think they will be as battle-tested as any team in the league. And we're going to find out how good they really are in these next 5 weeks.
At Dallas after a bye, it's pretty good for them, right?
So, so I actually looked. So, I mean, Dallas, right, in the look-ahead line, Dallas is a 1-point favorite. So Dallas is a 1-point dog this week at Pittsburgh and then a 1-point favorite at home next week for whatever it's worth. So, I mean, Vegas saying that's a coin flip game, but at Dallas, at Minnesota, at Green Bay, at Houston, it's pretty tough 5-week stretch.
I think they're going to light Dallas up.
Okay.
No Micah. All right, in the process, Jared Goff, literally perfect, 18 for 18. 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown. Here's Goff and Dan Campbell.
18 for 18 for you. How does that meet? You were. How does that meet your standards?
There you go. Yeah, it's good when the ball doesn't hit the ground. It was a good day.
I just gave the game ball to somebody else, so I feel awful right now. Yeah. No, I knew he played a heck of a game. I did not realize he was perfect. I did not know he was literally 18 for 18.
Here's his numbers. First ever perfect completion game on over 10 attempts. Brew, is Goff underrated?
Look, he's kind of properly rated.
Properly rated. That's what I wrote down, bro.
But I am going to make another case that he is underrated as well. He's clearly not the Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow level.
Sure, maybe.
So that's where I think, and he's rated in that group, that sizable group below those guys, and I think that's where he should be. Where I think, Nick, he's underrated, I just think it was like everybody blamed him for the Rams not being able to win a Super Bowl. And I get that
Including Sean McVay.
Yeah, right. And I get that Sean McVay is a great offensive mind, and he's clearly helped Goff. But somebody had to throw those passes. All right, somebody had to make that offense click and be one of the best offenses in the league. And it was with Jared Goff. And we're seeing even, you may talk about this later, like, Nick and I didn't give Tua a ton of credit. Well, look at them now. They look, in Miami. So it just shows you that no matter how good you think Tua or Goff was, it takes a good quarterback, no matter who the coordinator is, what the system is, who the head coach is, to go out there and make it happen. And I don't think he got the credit for it. They had that great offense. I know he had Todd Gurley, who everybody gave a lot of the credit to. His receivers, best ones, Cooper Kupp had not yet emerged. He was on the team. Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks, neither of whom's made a Pro Bowl. And with that offense, with Goff, yeah, they're good, but Goff made it look great. And here's what I want to show you, this graphic. This is Goff in Detroit compared to Stafford with the Rams. And Goff's got him beat. Completion percentage, TD to interceptions, has him slightly. And passer rating, yards is close, but so I do think the
Super Bowl kind of skews that.
No, I get it. Stafford won the Super Bowl, and 2 words, Jaquiski Tart. I'm just saying, if he doesn't drop that ball, they don't get to the Super Bowl.
All right, so I don't.